have to go to in the United Kingdom. Someone won an award just recently for a chair, well, 2 chairs actually, 2 chairs that have been built by a young artist in relation to curbing the crime of manspreading. Now, please help me. I had to get a dictionary to work out even what this manspreading thing is. But the university student, Layla Laurel, you can see there, the woman is sitting. The chair has been designed with a block of wood in it. So she opens up her legs and sits like a bloke. And the man has got wedges on the side of his chair. You know, let's even call him a man. He may not be a man. You don't know these days. You can call yourself whatever you like. But it's designed to force your legs together because apparently women are put out, and there's a quote from Laurel I'll put up on the screen. She says, it comes from my own experiences of men infringing on my space in public. Oh, come on, Daisy, this is just ridiculous.
Oh, Peter, oh, the advent of manspreading, what an extraordinary thing. It was actually the invention of this word that inspired me to stop calling myself a feminist, because I realised the ideology that I thought meant freedom and equality was actually just a load of rubbish that had been hijacked by idiots who make up words to prove their point. And look, to explain what manspreading is, it was explained to me originally as the theory that men sit with their legs far apart on public transport to sort of invade women's space and sort of stake their claim as part of the furniture, so to speak, and that it was a terribly sexist thing and designed to infringe on women's space. And now we know that's not the case. And I'm going to phrase this very delicately, Peter, for this prime time slot. Anyone with a basic knowledge of the human anatomy will know why gentlemen tend to sit with their legs slightly further apart than women do. It's not a matter of sexism or invading space, it's a matter of practicality. So this silly sort of manspreading narrative, all it does is emasculate men. It makes feminists look completely petty. And if any feminist watching this is wondering why people think feminist is somehow man-hating and stupid, well, it's this kind of thing that gives them that image, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but all the while, Caleb, all the while, you know, we're having this debate about are you a manspreader or not, and whether it's offensive and you're encroaching deliberately into a female space. All the while we're doing this, the feminists are not talking about child marriage and those rates that were out last week that are absolutely horrific. We're not talking about the stuff that's going on in Indigenous communities. That's what gets under my goat, is we focus on this stuff that just does not matter.
Well, because it's far more difficult to talk about the issues that matter. And if you get involved in the issues that matter, you've actually got to do something about them. I mean, they're too afraid to bring these issues up, A, because it then sparks a conversation that means you've actually got to go out and do something, and that's far too much work for the average white middle-class feminist who has a reasonable amount of money and really doesn't have a lot to worry about in life. And the second thing, of course, is that it acknowledges that there might be differences between some of our cultures, and you cannot acknowledge that because cultural relativity apparently is the way things work now. We can't acknowledge that we may be a little further ahead of some other people. But the concept of manspreading, you know, I catch the bus frequently, and as a reasonably slight man, I tend to take up not too much of the seat. The real scourge on public transport is not men with their legs far apart, it's men and women who are about 4 feet wide, because I take up a very small part of the seat and someone else comes and sits down on the seat. I get squished in. I've got nowhere to go. I'm not worrying
Caleb,
about blokes who are
I would
putting
be a
their...
man-spreader. Look at me. I'm 6 foot tall, and I always like to have my handbag sitting next to me. So me and I'm a handbag spreader. Possibly that is a term. They'll lock me up.
But that's even
surely,
worse.
Won't they?
That's even
Daisy
worse.
Cousens,
Mate, you're in
are
trouble.
you a handbag spreader, or you know? This is the ridiculousness of this debate. And anyway, if someone's encroaching on your space, why wouldn't you? We're all big enough and ugly enough now to say, you know, get out of the way, mate.
Exactly.
Honestly.
I mean, that's what I do if people are encroaching on my space. You just tell them to shove over a bit. It's not particularly hard. And generally people are very apologetic if you point out they're taking up too much space. And as for handbags, I really, oops, sorry. I do make a conscious effort to keep mine on my lap instead of putting it on the seat next to me, but certainly other women do it, and it's very rude of them to do so.
All right, point taken. I will be very schooled on that, Daisy. I'll put my bag on my lap, and that's the end of it now.